I found out we were in an open relationship when her husband asked me to close the door quieter. Okay, I still don't even know what to call this. It sounds like a cheating story, right? But if you're expecting the usual, she slept with someone else and I was devastated. No, this goes off the rails in a completely different direction. I'm in Boston. I'm 30. I had a girlfriend, Emma, 28. We'd been together almost 2 years. We didn't officially live together, but we had each other's keys. You know that stage where it's not a big dramatic step, but it feels serious? Yeah. I genuinely thought we were headed toward moving in, just gradually. So it's a normal weekday night. I stop by her place after work. I'm tired, I've got takeout, I just want to eat and crash. I walk up to her door, and there's a guy standing there, calm, not angry, not aggressive. He's wearing a t-shirt that says Dad Mode, and he talks to me like we're neighbors on the same floor. Hey, can you close the door a little quieter? She just fell asleep. I froze like, she? Who's she? I go, Emma? And he says super casually, yeah, my wife. That's it. My brain just short-circuited. I'm standing there with a bag of food and my keys in my hand, trying to figure out if I'm being pranked. I manage to say, wait, Emma's my girlfriend. And here's the weird part. He doesn't look mad. He looks at me like I'm the only person in the room who didn't get the memo. Oh, he goes, so she did tell you. I blink. Tell me what? He shrugs like we're talking about a parking arrangement. That things are flexible. That word, flexible, hit me in the gut because it didn't sound like he was talking about people. It sounded like he was talking about a schedule. And then the door opens. Emma steps out, hoodie, sleepy, but not so sleepy that she doesn't understand exactly what she's walking into. And the scariest part is, she's not surprised, not even a little. No, what are you doing here? No panic, no denial. She just says quietly, Tom, please, not right now. Then she turns to him and adds, Zach, I told you, don't talk to him, to me. Like I'm not a person, I'm an issue they agreed to handle a certain way. I honestly don't remember how I left. I just remember Zach trying to be cool as I walked away. Man, it's not what it looks like. Yeah, sure. That night I didn't text her. I did what you do when your brain can't process reality. I started looking for answers online. I found Zach Fast, LinkedIn, corporate vibes, marathon posts, family photos. And yes, Emma was in some of them. Caption like, my wife. I'm thinking, okay, that's it. That's the whole story. But then it gets weirder. Because on his profile, there's another woman. Same kind of captions. Same wife slash my rock energy. So now I'm like, either this guy is living a double life or I've stepped into some kind of shared delusion. And then Zach messages me. Yes, he finds me. I don't even know how. His message is weirdly calm. I don't want a war. Can we grab coffee tomorrow? There are things you need to know. In any other situation, I would have told him to go to hell. But I wasn't even angry yet. I was just lost. Like I'd been dropped into the middle of a movie without the first 30 minutes. So we meet at a coffee shop. Zach shows up normal. No attitude, no threats. Just looks exhausted. First thing he says, I'm not her husband. I actually felt my shoulders drop for a second, like, finally a logical explanation. I go, okay, then who are you? And this is where the story turns. He says they were married, they got divorced, and then, after the divorce, Emma asked him to keep things looking the same for a while because of paperwork, credit stuff, insurance, whatever. And that temporary thing turned into a system. And then he does something that genuinely messed me up. He pulls out his phone, opens his calendar, and shows me blocks. Like appointments, not texts, not photos, a calendar. Stuff like dinner with Emma, official, overnight, for neighbors, trip to see parents, together. And then mixed in, there are entries that just say, Tom, my name, like I'm a meeting. I stare at it and go, does she schedule people? And Zach just nods. Yeah, and you're not the first. That's when it stopped feeling like heartbreak and started feeling gross, like I'd been filed away somewhere. I ask him, why are you showing me this? He says, because you're already involved and you don't even realize how deep. Then he tells me something that shifts it from relationship drama to something else. He says for months he's been getting weird mail, banks, collection notices, accounts he didn't open. At first he thought it was spam or a scam, but then he saw something that made his stomach drop. In one of the documents, my phone number was listed as an alternate contact, my number, in paperwork I'd never seen. I go, where is my name showing up? He says, a loan application and a storage unit rental. A storage unit? I've never rented one in my life. We agree I'm going to check my credit immediately. I check. And yeah, there's a loan application under my name. Not approved, but submitted, with an email address that isn't mine, with contact info that isn't mine. So I text Emma, we need to talk. She replies almost instantly, please don't dig into this. I'll explain, just not right now. Not what are you talking about? Not that's impossible. Don't dig. That's when something in me really snapped into place. That night I went to her apartment. And yeah, looking back, that was a dumb move. But in the moment I felt like if I didn't understand what was happening right then, I might never get the chance. Her door was slightly open. I walked in, called her name. Silence. And on the kitchen table there's a folder, just sitting there. I open it, and my whole body went cold. Printouts, ID scans, account numbers, insurance forms, stuff that looks official. And then I see a signature that looks exactly like mine. Almost perfect, except it isn't. I know how I write my T. This one was close, but wrong. And on the folder, there's a sticky note. Tom, clean. I don't even know why that phrase freaked me out so much, but it did. It felt like I wasn't a boyfriend. I was a category. I hear footsteps and I think it's Emma. It isn't. It's a woman I'd seen a couple times before. One of those, oh, my friend is stopping by people. She sees me and goes like I showed up early to a meeting. Oh, you're early. I'm like, who are you? She smiles, too calm. I'm Lisa. I help Emma. Help her do what? She nods at the folder. Help keep guys like you clean. Because the dirty ones are being watched right now. I'm telling you, the fear that hit me wasn't normal jealousy fear. It was that cold, real fear where you realize you might be standing too close to something dangerous. I ask, where is Emma? Lisa shrugs. Gone for a couple days. And if you're smart, you'll disappear too. I left on autopilot, and I spent the entire night replaying the last 2 years in my head. And the worst part is, once you start looking back, the little things start lining up. Her casually asking questions about my documents. Her wanting to use my info for deliveries because it was easier. The way she'd take random, cute photos where my wallet or mail would be in the background. At the time, I didn't think anything of it. Now, it looked like data collection. I call Zach. I tell him, she's gone, and there's a folder labeled Tom Clean. He goes quiet for a second, then says, okay, listen, she's not just juggling people. She builds networks. One guy is status, one is cover, one is money. I ask, so what am I? And he says, you're the perfect clean one. Stable job, no record, normal life. People like that are useful when someone wants to move things that shouldn't be visible. Right then my phone buzzes. Unknown number. Tom, don't do anything stupid. You're a good one. Stay that way. And then another message, an image, a photo of my apartment building from across the street. Fresh. That's the moment I knew. This isn't a conversation. This is a situation. I went to the police, and this part still gives me chills. The officer listening to me says, does she go by Emma Blake? I say yes. And he doesn't look confused. He doesn't look skeptical. He just looks at a coworker and goes, we have a file on her. They tell me if I make it official, I might be asked to cooperate. Statements, evidence, all that. I ask, where is she? And they say, if you know her, you're not the only one. A week later, she's officially a person of interest. But I got the sense that didn't mean much. Like, sometimes people like her don't get caught. Sometimes they just vanish because someone higher up wants them gone. And then the strangest part, a few days later, I get a call from an unknown number. I answer. It's Emma. Her voice is calm, warm, like she's calling to ask what I want for dinner. Tom, I'm sorry. I don't speak. She says, I really did love you. You were the only one I could breathe around. I still don't know if she meant it or if she just wanted to leave a softer mark on me. I say, you used me. She doesn't argue. Yeah. Then she says something that made my stomach drop. If you hadn't dug into it, you would have stayed clean. But now, they've noticed you. That word, noticed, still messes with me. I ask, where are you? She lets out this quiet little laugh, like I'm asking something naive. Somewhere I'm not. Listen, leave Boston for a couple months. Don't try to play hero. This isn't a movie. And right before she hangs up, she says, you're the only one I left the truth for. Everyone else just got a story. And the call ends. I used to think the ending would be she got arrested or I exposed her, but that's not how it ended. I didn't get a clean closure. I got months of proving I was me, calls with banks, fraud reports, password changes, cameras, staying with friends, coming back, feeling paranoid every time my phone buzzed. And honestly, the hardest part wasn't even the paperwork. The hardest part is this gross little thought that sometimes pops up, and I hate that it does. If I just closed the door quieter that night, would we still be together in that fake reality? And that thought makes me feel sick, because it means she left something in me. Then 3 months later, I get a letter at my new address. No return address. One sheet of paper inside. Printed, Tom, clean. Keep it that way. And at the bottom, there's a little check mark in pen. The same kind of check mark Emma used to make on grocery lists when she'd cross off milk or coffee. I still don't know where she is. If she's alive, if she's in trouble, if she's safe, and I think that's what makes it stick. I didn't get a period at the end of the sentence. I got a missing piece. And now anytime someone says, I'll explain later, my body reacts like it's a threat because I've seen what later can actually mean.